There are many things that went through my mind when I got to mile 17 of the Marine Corps Marathon. I realized, for example, that I could seriously consider killing somebody for a power bar. But mostly I realized that I was completely alone and totally overwhelmed. And it seemed like my own mind had turned against me, because the only things I seemed to be able to hear in my own head were the voices of pain and self-doubt. This is hard. Dude, you're not strong enough. Why don't you just give up? But in that moment, I heard another voice, and that's pride. Now, before I go any further, I need to point out a frequent misconception. Looking at me, you may not realize this, but I am not a professional athlete. It's true. I'm not even an amateur running enthusiast. Hell, I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express the night before this marathon. I say all that so you understand that when I got to mile 17, I hit the wall hard, because my body was trying to deal with the fact that it had just gone further than it ever thought possible. At the same time, though, my mind has to try and figure out a way to explain to my body that we have almost 10 more miles to go. When my body gets this memo, it's upset, then it's angry, and then it gets organized. And it speaks to me with one voice. Hi, I'm Payne. I represent Local 381, the international brotherhood of your ankles, your feet, your back, your shoulders, your neck. And that thing that dangles at the back of your throat, nobody knows what the hell it's called, but we've discussed it, and we're all in agreement that you gotta cut this shit out. Or else this is gonna get ugly, capiche? Now, as I mentioned before, I got another voice here, and that's pride. At this particular moment in my life, I smell worse than a landfill, and I just got passed by the team from the local nursing home. Pride does not have a lot to work with, but it's gonna try. Hey, don't give up now. Imagine how good it'll feel when you finish. Won't that be neat? Yay! So I push on a little further, and this only succeeds in making Payne even more upset. And Payne proceeds to take what arguably had been a mild labor dispute and escalates it into a full-blown hostage crisis. All right, tough guy, you listen. You stop right now, or I'll blow this kneecap. Click, I'll do it. And just as I begin to slow down and I'm about to give in to pain and stop, I learn an important lesson. Do not make pride angry. Because in that instant, that voice that sounded like an obnoxious Richard Simmons, I know that's redundant, becomes the meanest Marine drill sergeant they ever let out of Paris Island. Please do not tell me you are seriously thinking of stopping now, maggot. If you think after all those months of training, giving up your Saturdays, running in the rain, I am about to let you quit now, you are sorely mistaken, mister. I try and reason with pride. Hey, I know, but we've come this far. That's an accomplishment, right? And I gotta level with you. I'm in a lot of pain here. This last point just makes pride even angrier. Pain? You want pain? I will give you pain. Tell me, how did it feel just a few weeks ago when you got your hand slammed in the door of a Lincoln Town Car? But now tell me, how did it feel over 20 years ago when you spilled your drink on your pants and your date told everybody at freshman homecoming that you had wet yourself? Oh gosh, that still hurts. I thought you were here to help me. I am here to help because I am here to remind you of one simple thing. Him, pain, he is temporary. He is gone later tonight after a couple Motrin. But me, I am with you forever. And you think about that and how you're going to feel today, tomorrow, and anytime you think about this marathon for the rest of your life if you quit now. I know. I really did want to finish this. I just don't think it got to me. I don't think I'm strong enough. And to that, pride just seems to smile and say, oh, you are strong enough. And I'm going to show you you are. Because aren't you the man who once drove 500 miles on one weekend on a total of 4 hours of sleep while battling the flu just so you could stand next to your best friend on the most important day of his life? And are you not the man who busted his ass for 4 long years so you could graduate with honors and hear your mother say it was one of the proudest days of her life? And are you not the man who 6 months ago could barely run around the block and yet you just went almost 20 miles? If you could do any one of those things, you can surely shut up and give me a few more steps. So I push on a little further, thinking maybe pride's right. Maybe I can do this. Until just like that little engine, I realize, I know I can do this. Not only that, I know I am going across that finish line if I've got to do it with 2 broken legs and a hangnail. And when I get there and I see the finish line, I don't even hear pain anymore. I don't hear pain. I don't hear self-doubt. I barely even hear the crowd. And when I hit that finish line, and with the last bit of strength I got, I raise my arms up over my head. And I hear only one thing, and that's pride.